Hey, good morning, Dean. It's a marvelous Monday. The good news today is it looks like our Fannie Mae REO is going to be closing. I know it was supposed to close on Friday, but it didn't close till today. A lot of hoops have jumped through with those Fannie Mae REOs. And I wrote another offer on another Fannie Mae property over the weekend, so we'll see how that plays out. Here's a little love note that the previous homeowners on the REO property we wrote the contract on, this is what they left us. I think it kind of chalks up the frustration level that people are seeing out there. There are a lot of Fannie Mae properties on the market. And if you look at Cromford report, what they're saying is that the number of foreclosures on the market here in Phoenix is on the rise. But not because of the banks and the mortgage companies. It's because of the government entities like Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FDIC, HUD. They're the ones who are increasing the rate at which they're foreclosing on properties. And Fannie Mae is the biggest player on that. Their numbers went up 12.5% in August alone. Because they're putting the pedal to the metal on these foreclosures, they're getting a little bit of hot water, and they're going to have to answer to Congress as to why, if foreclosures are costing more money, why they're hiring these attorneys who are basically like foreclosure mills to accelerate the process and kick these distressed homeowners out of their homes. In the meantime, though, we got to deal with these Fannie Mae REOs, and they are a pain. When you buy a Fannie Mae property, you got to sign that Fannie Mae addendum. And Lawyer's Title has this great little synopsis of the differences between the Fannie Mae addendum and our Arizona contract. The one that I have the biggest heartburn with is the fact that the inspection period starts on the acknowledgement date. But you know better than anybody that the acknowledgement date means nothing until you have a signed contract. You don't know how things are going to turn out. In your case, they ended up changing the purchase price. So you're paying for that home inspection, you're doing your due diligence when you don't have an executed contract. I think that kind of sucks. They also add some extra fees. You know, they use their own signers, and you got to pay that $100 to $150 for those signers. You got to pay the upfront HOA fees, like the condo certs and all that kind of stuff. That comes out of the buyer's pocket during escrow. At the end of the deal, they rekey the property for you, and they charge you like $100 to $120 to do that. There's also a reseller clause in the addendum that's causing some heartburn for investors who are a great pool of buyers that Fannie Mae should be courting. Instead, they add this clause in there that limits the time period and the purchase price that the home can be resold for. The addendum supersedes the contract. You got to play by their rules if you want to buy their houses, right? How do they get away with this? Well, they're a government entity, and they're a huge government entity in the housing industry. Right now, they control about $5.4 trillion in mortgage loans, which kind of makes them like the 5.4 million pound gorilla. So, bottom line is, you have a good chance of buying a Fannie Mae REO these days, and you got to be ready for their rules. Play by their rules, or you don't get to buy the house. On that happy thought, you have a super day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, Magic 8 Ball, tell us, is it going to be easier to deal with Fannie Mae in the future? You may rely on it. That's great news.